The biggest problem with drawing on the go is the gear. Well, no, maybe more the skill and the time, but I'm focusing on the gear in this video. It's like you always need a third hand that you don't have. So I designed a solution that is probably unnecessary, but it's a way to carry your supplies on your arm without losing the whimsy. It's practical and aesthetic. I already know that I'm going to overthink a small, silly project, but... Bonjour, I'm Ariel, your friendly French crafter, and I don't go outside too much. Why do you think I painted the outside on the walls? But when I do go outside, I want to make it an adventure. Let's get crafting. Oh, it's still so hot. So what I want to figure out today is to find a way to take notes on the field, like very quickly without having to run into my bags. And for that I'm thinking some kind of wrist contraption. It took me a while, but I'm getting used to matcha, like cold with coconut milk. It works. It's so hot I'm not even using small ice cubes anymore. The big one goes in. Okay, so imagine, we are on the field and I need to draw something really quickly. I'm gonna be some sort of medieval journalist, so I don't have a camera. I have to quickly make a sketch of the battle. Probably just take notes, but well. So this is gonna be my big bag. I don't know if you've seen the video about it. It's like a very nice leather book. I can have it at my belt or as a little bag, but I need smaller containers inside of this big one. Sorry. Ooh, sorry. Matcha. So I have brainstormed a few ideas and I made them into a nice spread in my sketchbook. Look how cute! I've told you I'm really getting into sketchbooking. This is getting serious. I've been trying to get into journaling for years, but in drawing forms it's much more fun. I've put all my drawing exploration on Patreon if you are interested. But for this project, maybe I can try lino cutting that I can use on site and make a nice little wooden box for it. But for the supplies themselves, I was thinking a bit of like a pouch that you can roll up, and maybe I can roll that on my wrist. But then I thought, let's just make an art bracer, like having all your tools on hand. Because I'm kind of painting all the time. I mean, look at my hands. Gross. And I got ideas that I could put my watercolor in some kind of nice place. Tu me tiens ça? Because I bought this absolutely adorable watercolor box. It's so cute. You can just clip it on your sketchbook. It is so cute, but it's not really well made. Like, well, magnets coming off, a few places where the wood is not really well cut. It's not the best quality, but it is very cute and very smart, and I'm very inspired by it. So maybe I can try to make a bigger one. Je te gêne? Je te gêne peut-être. So maybe I can try to make a bigger one, or I can make a new box or find a very cute box to put my watercolor. I don't know yet. We'll see. Hop. Tu veux ça? Tiens. I use this little pouch on an everyday basis. It has a strap that I can put around my notebook. But what if I made some sort of wrist thing where I can have a few pencils like this and maybe I can write on it? Okay, so probably some sort of paper, maybe a mini notebook to take something. Okay, this, maybe 2 or 3 pencils or paintbrushes. A little piece of tissue or fabric or maybe a sponge. Mini container for either ink or water. An eraser. And also I use different tin boxes to put usually some kind of paint or little tidbits. So maybe I don't need that, but I can have some sort of magnet because they are all magnetic. For materials, I want to go with leather because it's very sturdy, and also I think I have a few scraps of leftovers from a very soft one. Let me check. I have this much left from the pants that I've been destroying for a while now. Not sure if that's gonna be enough, but I'll see what I can do. And I have this bag, which I've modified and repaired like 5 times already. It was much bigger before. I've changed the straps, I've changed the bottom, but it's very old leather, so I don't think it's good enough anymore for such a big thing, or would have to be reinforced. But what if I make smaller things with it? So I can keep the grain and the nice patina on it. I think that looks quite nice. So that's it for materials. Do they go together? So hard. It's so dry outside. Look at this grass.
Look at this graph.
So most important will be the notepad. If it's like this, or like this, no, I don't, no, right. No, I write like this, maybe, ooh, it should be smaller also. This is my first plan. So we have a little notebook here that comes out from this flap. We have another flap here that can go through the thumb with a magnet on the inside so I can attach the palette. They are the main functional piece, and the rest I can attach wherever I have space left. Let's try that on an old piece of fabric. Okay, I think I have something that would work. I'll add the closure on the outside of my arm. I can have a little notepad here, and hopefully I can have maybe a slit so I can like slide it in like this. And if I have the hook here, it doesn't move, and I can go and take notes. Like this, like this. I haven't decided yet. And this little piece here can have the magnet, but I can also flip it like this, maybe have a strap or something that go around my thumb, and I'll have the magnet here for the palette, or maybe pins. Oh, I can use that for sewing. Taking notes. That's kind of cool. I added something for pens here, but it's not, I mean, it's not functional really. So as long as I make this and this work, the rest I can add wherever there is space left. Let's try. These soft pens already have a nice patina, so I'm using it to cut the main part of the bracer. I've added extra material on both ends because I'm not sure exactly about the closure. Will they overlap a lot? Will I fold the end? I don't know. I'm gonna build this thing step by step. I think the main technical difficulty of this project is the notebook, so I'm starting to solve this problem. It opens and closes, so I think it's the perfect placement to add a little pocket. A place to add little extra pieces of paper, or maybe my cards. These are all the scraps left from the pens. So I might have enough for this project without having to destroy the bag. We'll see. Every seam is going to be sewn by hand, so I need to glue each piece before I can pierce the hole for the thread. I need to be very careful when positioning while gluing, and pressing it in place using a bit of violence. Note to myself, don't leave the camera on the table while doing that. I tried to use my punching tools to make the sewing holes, but this leather is very thin, so I don't even need that. Just a little awl is good enough. Awl. I'm gonna let the glue dry before I sew it on. And while we wait for this, I'm gonna sort the magnet situation. And I have a problem. I had 3 different kinds of magnets. I have a few of these, which I removed from a mosquito net. They are not super strong. I have this one, which is very strong, like maybe a bit too strong. Let's wrap it in leather. Tin box. Look. Definitely too strong. Does it work with this? Ah! Okay, so no, not this one. Mosquito ones? Barely. And I don't have other big ones, but I have this box that is supposed to hang on a fridge or something. Voilà. Maybe I can try to steal the magnets from this. Should be the right amount. But can I not destroy it completely? Nice. You stay. You stay. Ow. No! This is actually quite nice to hold it in place when I'm sewing. So the magnets will be just stuck between two pieces of leather that are tightly sewn together. Hopefully that should keep them in place so they don't move around. And they don't try to escape to a nearby fridge. I want to make this object nice and durable. So in most of the sewing step, I'm using leather glue, and it needs to properly dry before I manipulate it. So I'm hopping between different parts of the bracer. Back on the main part of the bracer, the notebook will go through a little slit. So I'm adding a little extra leather rectangle around the hole, so it fortifies this area, hopefully. As you can see, I did a bit of miscalculating on the placement of this rectangle. So there are little holes there that are not supposed to be there, but it's under the notebook, so it's fine. Don't tell anyone. And I'm melting the knots on the back side to make sure that they don't come undone. The slit for the notebook is just a rounded rectangle, so I'm using a hole puncher on both ends, and just using a blade to connect them. The pocket is the perfect size for cards, and the notebook will go through just above it and protect them. So before I add more, I think I need to figure out how it closes. Probably snaps. So I don't want it to fall down, but also I want to be able to put it on other pieces of costume. What if I have a sweater? Also the rest of the stuff might pull a little bit more, so I think I should make it quite loose. They may not look super historical, but I'm adding some sturdy snaps. I want this thing to be durable, but also be easy to use. I'm pretty sure that if I had used some lacing, I would probably not use that as much. So with the closure in place, I can figure out the placement of the magnet, because I want it to be able to hold a little palette or whatever tool I can use, maybe pins, a scissor. I think I know. Instead of having the magnet on a flap that goes like this, I'm going to make it separate so I can attach it to different places on my arm, depending on what position I'm in. I have some rings like this, I have some tiny rings like this, and I also have these that open, so they will make the whole thing more versatile. I'm folding the side of the leather to form a sort of loop, so I can add my ring onto that, and I can finish the piece with stitching all around the magnets, so they are super secure. Okay, so what do we think here? Along this line, I'm gonna add little loops like this, so this could be like this, paper, some water, or something to write, maybe paintbrush, maybe also something to put an eraser. Still have the pants here. I'm gonna steal all the belt loops. I'm gonna use this thing until there's nothing left. I made another strap out of the pants, and I think we have all of the elements of the bracer. Now I can put everything together. I'm using the leather glue to fold all of the edges neatly before I sew them, holding everything in place with 5 billion clips. The punching tool can be used on the straight edges, but the rest has to be done one by one with this awl. Once the holes are punched, I can use a saddle stitch with 2 needles and a very strong linen thread. The main strap is sewn leaving a gap, so I can have, a pencil or paintbrush or whatever in this. I don't want this to be strictly made for only one type of object. The little glass bottle also gets a cozy little sleeve. If I make it all snug, it should be fine and not move around too much. The bracer is a tiny bit long, so I'm just chopping the bottom edge off, and that got the same treatment as before. So while this dry, I wasn't super convinced about the secureness of the little vial, the little glass bottle, so I'm adding an extra strap, which allows me to make this part almost like a little pouch, so if I put maybe an eraser in there that is smaller than the bottle, hopefully it will not fall down. I have the tiniest rivet knob thing, and they should work to keep the strap in place. Now, the main thing needed are pens. I think 2 holders is enough, and also I think it's what looks the best. So I'm sewing the belt loops in place, leaving enough space for 2 of them. The friction of the leather should be enough to keep them in place, but I think I'm gonna add an extra piece somewhere, just to be safe. A little fabric scrap or just a piece of tissue paper is very useful when you are painting in the wild, or I don't know if you want to blow your nose. And this can be simply attached with 2 elastics. Now, the mini notebooks that I'm gonna make also need a bit of protection. So I'm making a little notebook cover out of first 2 pieces of plastic. I don't want to use cardboard. I mean, what if there is a bit of rain? At least I have some protection. But I also don't want the plastic to be visible. So I'm using another scrap of leather that I'm going to simply glue on the plastic. And I'm making it as thin as I can on the back, so when I slide it in and out, it doesn't try to rip the leather. This time I think contact cement is the way to go. I don't know how well the leather glue will stick to the plastic. When the glue is dry, I'm also thinning this part of the leather, so when I fold them back into place, they are as flat as possible and don't make like a bulky line. By the way, remember, contact cement is very toxic. Wear a mask. I'm carefully folding the edges around the plastic, hopefully making it kind of neat. Don't worry, I will find a way to hide those pleats later. The inside lining will be just a piece of canvas covered in glue. And when the glue is almost dry, I just slap it on it, and hopefully the hinge is kind of sandwiched between the 2 layers, so it should be sturdy enough. This will also get a little snap and a strap. I have a few notebooks, but obviously I'm not gonna find one that is the right size. So I'm gonna need to figure out how to make my own custom ones. And that is not gonna be a problem because I've been to YouTube University for many years. Do not look at my screen time. Now it is time for a mini notebook tutorial. Don't worry, it's gonna be very basic, but practical, because I don't know any notebook of these exact dimensions. I'm cutting this piece of cardboard, which was actually a notebook cover from another one that I destroyed somewhere, but that means I can make several notebooks. I had a stack of this paper it's printer paper, but it's kind of pre-aged, and just 1 sheet of paper is enough to make a mini notebook. The pages are folded in half, and I'm making 4 holes with a pointy thing just to sew them in. I'm just using the big thread that I've been using since the beginning of this project, and it is perfectly good enough. It's not the cleanest work, but I think for the vibe of this project it works. With how quick and easy it was, I'm making a second one, but this one I'm using watercolor paper, because I still do have hope that I can paint with this mini contraption. This one has a bit less pages because the paper is much thicker, but that way all the notebooks are the same thickness. I can chop the excess paper to make sure every page is the same size. Then I squish them. The notebook cover gets its little strap sewn on. Going through all the layers without doing too much damage was a bit tricky, and spoiler alert, I had to do it twice, but that's okay. And to attach the notebooks to the cover while still being interchangeable, I've been eyeing those, traveler journals. They seem pretty easy to make and very useful and practical and versatile. So this is kind of the same concept, but just in very weird proportions. The only elastic I had in the right size was white, so I'm just using a marker to make it black. Should be good enough. Then it goes through the 2 holes of the notebook with just a little knot. And that is just right to slide a notebook in, or a few. I realized that the snap placement was messed up, so I had to redo the strap. That's okay, only a half an hour. Also, now that it has extra material, I can flip it open much more easily. Then for finishing touches, I just use a little bit of sandpaper to remove the shine of the buttons. And also I made some extra belt loops. Hopefully I can use them to attach the whole thing to my belt. We'll see. So I think I'm done, I just need to make it shine. So I was looking for a way to finish it, and I Wow, what a great angle. The only transparent leather finish that I have might not be adapted for such a soft object, so I'm going to use moisturizing cream. Very expired. I've cleaned up the place, now a bit of rubbing the excess and just making it shine, and we are done. Okay, the bracer is drying and it is the main part of the project, but I also want to add some colors. And I think watercolor would be the best way to have a wide range of available colors in a tiny box. Speaking of tiny box, my dad gave me this big fancy watercolor box. It's so heavy. Decades ago, an office moved out near his house and they were throwing everything out. This was in the trash, in the garbage. This is really good stuff. And now it's mine. But you may have noticed that it is not tiny at all. And I don't have like watercolor tubes that you can transfer, but I found something. Tu me la gardes 2 secondes? Merci. I'll get something, you watch me. Okay. Can I? No. I bought a pack of these plastic little pens and I've glued a magnet underneath. And now I can put them in a tin box. I just need to figure out how to transfer from this to this. Let's go. I'm just adding a few drops of water in each color, and it has to sit for several hours. And when it's liquid enough, I can fill up my little pens. It was very time-consuming, and it took a bit of brain power just to track every color and make sure I matched the number and the name. Now I know that I can transfer watercolor even when it's dry. And I can use a much smaller box to store everything. Oh, it fits perfectly. That is so satisfying. Okay, I'm not finished with everything yet, but I received the package and I really want to show you. I got it on Vinted and it finally arrived. It's hopefully gonna be useful for this project. Oh, il y a des bouts qui tombent, c'est pas grave. This is a vintage makeup compact. It's a bit damaged. There's still powder in it. Oh no! I hope it's not toxic. Didn't they used to make makeup with like arsenic and mercury? It's quite heavy. This is kind of falling apart. But the box doesn't seem damaged. Bonjour! A little comb. And I guess... Oh. I'm gonna save the makeup. Maybe I can use the pigments or something. Drugs. Now the important question is it magnetic? No! That's okay. Next question is, can it hold some paint? Oh no! Huh. Ah! It's unhinged. Okay. I don't have tiny pens in the right size, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can destroy an old expired makeup palette. Fun fact, this makeup seems to have some iron in it. I'm not sure I can save that, so I'm just going to remove that. It's all clean and polished, so let's put it back together. I'm slightly changing the shapes of the pens so they fit nicely and snugly in the box. And I'm adding a sponge in the last compartment. I have this sheet of magnet sticker, and I can cut pieces at just the right size so they fit in each of the pens. I tried to make a flat piece of tin out of an old candy box, but it did not turn out so good. So I got another one, and it did fit very nicely there. The last construction element was to add a little piece of white plastic on the back of the boxes, just so I have somewhere to mix my colors. And they are attached with some double-sided tape, so I can maybe exchange them in the future. And same as before, I'm stealing a little bit of the big paint palette into those tiny pens.